Hey everybody, it's Nick here from thebeardedhousewife.com, the blog and the YouTube channel that shows you simple ways to craft your house into a home. Now, my very best friend Jamie just moved into a new home, and I wanted to make her a really fun, colorful card, so let me show you what I came up with. This is the envelope, has that fun little house on the back. Open up the flap. And you can see the front here says welcome home. It has a cute little belly band right here. So let's slip the belly band off. And open the card up. And isn't that cute? I love the little pop-up house. I designed this to look cartoonish, really happy and bright and fun. I'm going to stand up so I can give you a closer look. Isn't that just fun? Close the card and you have room here to write your message. And it's designed to stand up like this. So let's get started making it. Alright, we're here at my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com. We're going to head to the resource library tab. If you don't have access to my free file library, you can click Get Access. You'll fill out a form and be emailed the password to enter the library. But for now, we're going to head to Enter the Library. Go ahead and type in the password, and once you've hit Enter, you are coming to all of the files. You're going to want to look for number 88, which is the new home pop-up card. Download it to your computer and unzip the file, and then we can go ahead and open up Design Space. So here we are with a new project in Design Space. We're going to head to Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. Find where we downloaded the file onto our computer, and then hit Upload, highlight the image, and then click Insert Image. It's going to bring the file into our canvas. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oop, that was too far. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is head on up and click Ungroup, and then scroll down in the Layers panel to the envelope. We're going to need to change some score lines, or cut lines to score lines rather. So to do this, you're going to want to find the group that the envelope is in, highlight the top layer, which is the score line layer, head on over to Operation, change it from Basic Cut to Score, then highlight that entire group and click Attach. You're going to want to do this for the envelope, the outer card layer, and then the pop-up layer. And you can go ahead and click Make It. And I'm going to actually merge the other white layer on my matte preview just to limit the amount of mattes we have here. Rotate this around. That looks good. I'm just checking to make sure that I have moved everything that I can. Yep, that looks good. Go ahead and click Continue. And for this project, I am choosing medium weight cardstock. And then I'm going to change the pressure to more. And we can go ahead and get cutting. Alright, for this project, we're going to need our green standard grip cutting mat. All of our various cardstock. A scoring wheel or scoring stylus. The CRICUT brayer. Tweezers, which are optional. CRICUT scraper. art glitter glue, and some adhesive tape. So I'm going to go ahead and get my first mat all set up, add the cardstock to it, make sure that I brayer it nice and good to make sure that it's adhered. I'm going to go ahead and get everything cut out, and I will see you when everything's done. Okay, I have everything all cut out, so let's go ahead and get started assembling. First, we're going to fold all of the score lines for the pop-up layer. So we're going to start from left to right, and starting with the chimney, you're going to want to pinch and press the fold. This very left-hand side fold is going to be a valley fold. And now the second fold is going to be a mountain fold. As you're going along doing this, you are just going to want to make sure that you don't bend the cardstock too much. I know that it's going to be inevitable, and don't worry because we're going to be adding things to it anyway. Alright, right here, this fold line is going to be a valley. And as I'm going along here, if you get lost or it doesn't really make a lot of sense, don't worry. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you a little diagram that I came up with that hopefully will make it easier for you. Now I'm going to create valley folds for the center fold line of this layer. That helps a little bit to see how the house is forming. Alright, right now I'm going to work on the porch here, and then the front door. The front door can either be a valley fold or a mountain fold. It just depends on how you want it to look when they open up the card. Alright, now let's talk about that roof line. The easiest way to do that is to come from the back and apply pressure from the back, and then pinch the score line with the other, with your other hand. Just follow along the diagonal. Can you see that? I'm pinching with my left hand and pushing from the back with my right hand. And now I'm going to push that back in place, because that is supposed to be, this front side is supposed to be a mountain fold. There we go. Reinforce that fold for the side of the house. That is a mountain fold. Alright, let's move over here and do the picket fence. That is going to be a valley fold. Alright, now I'm going to flip the card over, and I'm going to do the other side of the roof line. And then if we're talking from left to right, the very right side of the roof is going to be a valley fold. So I'm still using the pinching method to form that roof line. There's that shape. I'm going to go ahead and show you that diagram that I came up with now. Okay, so here I made all of the red lines that you see, those are all valley folds. All of the blue lines are mountain folds. So hopefully this is easy for you to take a look at. Go ahead and pause it, take a screenshot, however you want to do it, so that you know which fold is which as you start from left to right. Okay, so we're going to want to take the card and gently fold it to make sure that everything closes the way that we want to. Just lining up every edge so that we can try to train the paper. Take the scraper and burnish all the lines. Okay, that looks good. Go ahead and open it up. Everything looks good. Okay. All right, one last time. Bring this up a little bit closer. This part of the tutorial is the hardest part, just to make sure that you get all of the folds the way that they're supposed to be. But again, refer back to that diagram that I just showed you and you should be just fine. So go ahead and open up that layer again and have it nice and flat. Now is the fun part. We're going to start to add all of our overlays. So begin with the light blue or the sky layer. And these are cut out to form around the pop-up. So you're going to want to slide that behind the house. Just be gentle, or careful I should say, just to make sure that you don't tear any of the cardstock. That little bottom flap just wraps around the bottom of the house, or underneath the house. There are little tabs that secure behind the picket fence. One little tab that does not want to go down, so I'm going to grab my weeding tool just to push it down there. There we go. Okay, and we're going to want to make sure that we add or leave a little bit of a white border around. Just make sure that the border is even all the way around. Just like that. Just checking to make sure that everything looks the way that it's supposed to. Alright, now I used a combination of adhesive and glue for this part. Don't mind my head there, sorry. I just peeled the cardstock back a little bit and added the adhesive to the white layer and then just pressed it into place. You'll see in just a second I did use some of the glue to get into the tighter points. Alright, once you have it all adhered, give the card a good fold just to make sure that it creases and folds flat. That looks good. Now just go ahead and repeat that for the other side. There we go. Fold it again. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start. Again, I'm going to start from left to right and add all of our overlays. I'm going to start with the chimney. Add my glitter glue. And apply that overlay to the pop-up layer. Give it a good press. I'm gonna bring it up so I can show you. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the overlays are just slightly smaller than the pop-up, because if we had it exactly the same size, it would interfere with the folds and it wouldn't fold right. So there is going to be just a very slight white border around all of these. Finish up the other side of the chimney. Again, I apologize for my head. My camera angle is not correct on this. Okay, that looks good. Go ahead and add the red door to the pop-up layer. Now, as I'm going along here, if you don't want to do all of this embellishment to change the color of all the different layers, you don't have to. You could totally just leave it a white inside for the card, but I think that it does two things. It adds character and interest, but then it also reinforces and makes the card stronger too. So it's all up to you. Now I'm adding glue to the side of the house where the siding would be. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side too. And you're going to notice that after every time that I add another overlay, I always fold the card just to make sure that it folds the way that I want it to. After each overlay as well, it always makes the card just a little bit stronger. So I highly recommend it. Like I said, it also makes it look really, really cute. Okay, now I'm going to use the, I don't know how to call it. It would be like the light is shining through from the windows. So flip the card over, peel back the sky layers, and then add some glue around the window openings. And place the yellow layers on top of the glue. All right, that looks good. Now let's talk about the roof. You could do two different things for this. The easiest would be, before you add any other layers, to color the roof line with a black Sharpie, or a color of your choice if you want to do a different shingle color. Or you can use the glitter glue, art glitter glue, and then I have the black strips for each one of those cuts. So that's what I'm going to do here. The choice is up to you. It would be a lot easier probably to color in all of the lines there, instead of placing a piece of cardstock on every single one, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just running a thin line of glue along each one of those rectangles on the pop-up layer, and then using my tweezers to add the black cardstock on top. There we go. Our little house is coming together. Just double checking, looks like I had a little bit of the sky layer pulling up. Okay, now we can take our grass layers. Now each one of these grass layers have a little notch that corresponds with either the side of the house or the fence line. So go ahead and add some glue to the back. And from the bottom, slide that into place. Make sure to line up the edge with the sky overlay. Just like that. Go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, now we have some fresh green grass. now I'm going to go ahead and add the sun. I'm going to go ahead and place that in the top left corner of the sky overlay. And now I'm going to add little trees, happy little trees, and the clouds. There we go. Isn't it so happy? Give everything a nice fold. Go ahead and set it to the side. Actually, I'm going to prop it up so that it dries the way that I want it to. Alright, let's talk about the mats and layers. So you're going to take the very front of the card. It's the dark blue layer. Add some adhesive or glue and then apply that to the mat. And then do the same thing for the messaging layer. Go ahead and set those to the side for a second. Now we're going to want to fold the outer card along the score line and burnish the fold. I burnished too quick. I need to readjust that a little bit. There we go. Burnish it again. Okay, so the blue layer is the one that's on the front, and then the messaging layer obviously goes in the back. Go ahead and add those to the outer card. There we go, front and back. All right, let's work on the keychain. Go ahead and add your glue to the gray layer and then add the white overlay and then the little heart to the keychain. Just like that. Adorable. Set that to the side. Alright, now it's time to add our pop-up to the outer card layer. So open up the outer card, and starting with one side of the pop-up layer, go ahead and add your adhesive or your glue. And you also want to add it to the sky layer too. Put a good amount there. And ahead and add that to one side of the outer card. Lift the outer card up a little bit just to make sure that you move just slightly past that score line. And you want to make sure that there is a border. So I actually found it best to leave it open in order to make sure that everything lines up the right way. And by it, I mean the pop-up layer. There we go. Press it into place. Fold it down, and then do the same thing for the other side. All right, there we go. Everything is folding the way it's supposed to, just giving it a good rub. All right, I'm going to close the card up, and now let's work on the belly band. So place the center of the belly band behind the card and try to center it the best that you can, and then wrap the band around to the front. I did not place score lines on this layer because it really is personal preference how tight you want the belly band to go around. I want it to be able to hold the card shut, but I don't want it to be so tight on there. And then wrap the other side around. Do press on both sides to make sure that you have the fold right. Go ahead and grab your glue and then press that into place. Make sure that you line up your edges. Alright guys, sorry about that, but the battery on my camera died and I did not catch my adding of the belly band embellishment, the keychain, and then the text layers. But you can see here you can add your welcome home text to the top and the bottom, and then have the belly band in between, and then the keychain goes on top of the belly band to hide that seam. I hope that makes sense. Alright, let's work on the envelope. It's the last little piece to this. You're going to go ahead and fold and burnish all of the score lines. And now we can add our glue and add that to the underside of the top flap. It's the side that has the cutout in it. And then we can place our colored inlay on top of the glue and give it a good press. Alright, now this card is a little bulky, so to finish off the envelope, to make sure that there's enough room, you can either place the card in the envelope and then glue it down, or just kind of bend the bottom flap a little bit to give it a little bit more of a room, to give it a little bit more room. Add your glue to the bottom of the side flaps. You can see how I'm pushing down a little bit on the bottom flap as I'm pulling it up. That creates like a little bit of a pillow where it's adhered, but there's a little bit more space. It's not as tight. You see that? Oops, I need to add a little bit more glue here. Alright, we're all done. I know there were a lot of layers to this, but it is definitely worth all that work. And here is the finished card. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure that you hit like and subscribe so you know every time that I come out with a new video. Head on over to my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com. I have the full written tutorial of this card as well as a printable guide if you need that for instruction. I also have tons of other cards too, so go ahead and check it out. Until next time, I'm Nick. I'm the Bearded Housewife. I hope everybody enjoys this card and enjoys the rest of their day. I will see everybody soon. Bye-bye.